here we are now in a place nobody wanted to be. New Year's Day, 2020, nobody would have guessed that we would be besieged in every conceivable way by this COVID-19 virus. So you and I felt like that rather than sitting on our hands and just watching it unfold or have any kind of a weak response, that we would take this thing head on, and that we would take some of those skills and tools from days gone by and try to put them into the current context. And that is that, in essence, what's happened to the business community, the medical community that's not dealing with COVID-19. If you could stick with an analogy that I've used elsewhere with another video, it's like being in an airplane and maybe it's got two engines and you just lost one, or worse, you've lost both. And all of a sudden, the business person, the medical practice is faced with horrific consequences and decisions that they're trying to make. And part of what we're trying to do here is to give people the opportunity to be able to work through the algorithms on their end, or the circumstances and their variables on their end, and to run them through a simulation to see what happens. Isn't that pretty much the case?
Yeah, Grant, I think you hit the nail on the head there. And, in our discussions over the last several weeks and months, we've talked about and really approached it from how can we help others in this current environment. And between, our shared experiences and, many years of experience at, other practices, we felt like we could bring some help to the community and those that are struggling and wondering, how do they make what they have go longer?
Exactly.
I think you've used it before, someone else has, about cash is the fuel to help the engines run and the airplane run smoothly. And making sure you have cash for your business is critical. And in talking with each other about how we can help, that's what we wanted to do. Is we wanted to approach this to help those that are in need, that might not have the resources available to them to really analyze this, to put these models together, and to really work through what's needed to extend the life of their business.
Well, that's right. And I think that what people essentially look for in life, but in this case in particular in the business life, is they look for control, predictability, and security. And all of that's been wrenched away. And we're all feeling that in one way or another. So this thing is touching all of us, and it's very real. And what I want to do is try, to the degree that we can, is to restore some of that predictability and security. And the hope is to use what the pilots use, in a sense, and that is they're able to simulate in-flight emergencies in a simulator. They can lose engines, and they can play around with all these different variables as they're making decisions. Each of those will have an impact on where that plane's going to land, or even if it's going to land. And so the power behind simulation is the ability to hit the reset button, right? Nobody dies. And that's the great news. The great news is, too, that you can just go ahead and start with a new set of variables.
What's great about it is that we can look at your current cash. We can look at projected cash to be collected. We can look at future, charges, collections, and we can really map that out and really forecast that out. But not only that, is that we can also do expenses too. And we built into our analysis the ability at any point in time, we can look at it by week, by month, and we can look at, what if you did this? What if you cut back this expense? What if your revenues increased, or what if they decreased? How does that impact that week's cash flow or that month's cash flow? And that's what we're able to do. And we're able to get into the details as much as, we can. And we've got variables, for just about any expense or any revenue, and we can help forecast that out, and we can do a run rate on that to see really like how long can we stretch this cash to make it last, make sure you hit payroll.
In particular with the medical community, both you and I are in touch with that, and we know what those SBA loans are. We know the pitfalls of them and whatnot. But we'll be able to plug those in and many more. And I think that's the beauty of what we've done here. But I think the value for what we're doing, our secret recipe, if you will, is that knowing the right questions. It's not just the power of the program or the programmer. It's the grant, it's the Brian, it's the others that have helped along the way. The ability to know what the variables are, what's out there, what can you take advantage of. From a business standpoint, we understand accounts receivable as well as anybody, and those types of things help direct us in our process of getting people to where they are, or where they need to be, I should say.
Absolutely. I think between the two of us, we've done it together in prior experience, and we've done it separately since we have gone our different ways, and then now we're here back together again to help others again. And it's exciting because I truly believe that with our experience together, we can help those that are in need right now. It's definitely an unsettling time, and I think having resources available that understand these models, how to help forecast the cash and the expenses, and how to save that to, again, really extend that runway is important.
That's right. Yeah, not everybody has a Brian or a Grant behind them to guide them, and so this will be particularly helpful for them. And to that end, one of the things we're very sensitive to is that at a time like this, the last thing that somebody wants to do is spend money, right? So particularly for a pig and a poke, not really quite sure about these guys. But while we have confidence, we want to give our would-be clients confidence as well. So what we've decided to do that initial consult on us, and then we'll come back and see if it's a good fit. We certainly aren't miracle workers. If we think we can help, we'll say so, and we'll work through the details at that point. But we want that initial consult to be on us, and then we go from there.
We're here to help. We're here to really help extend the life of your business. It's definitely a trying time. It's a concerning time, and we are here to help.
If you're watching this, you know how to reach us. So we'll wait for that email or that phone to ring, and we'll see what we can do. Thank you very much.